What the heck is going on in the Tampa Bay real estate market? Hey, it's Sean Reddy, Keller Williams Reddy Group, and this is our Tampa Bay Market in a Minute. We do this each and every month where we go through 9 key health metrics of the Tampa Bay real estate market and determine if they're trending in favor of buyers, in favor of sellers, and what that means for you if you intend to purchase a home or sell a home to purchase another home. Anytime in the near future, you want to follow along with this data, watch the trends, and figure out how you can use them to your advantage, right? So we're going to go through these 9 metrics. We're going to look at them at a month-over-month basis. We're going to look at them on a year-over-year basis. And we're going to take a look at some longer-term trends as well, so that if you're figuring out, hey, when do I make this move? This data is designed to help. Now, full disclosure, this is a bird's eye view of Hillsborough and Pinellas counties combined. So if you're looking for either something outside of those 2 counties or you're looking for something that's a little bit more dialed into a specific area, let us know, drop a comment, find me on social. Again, Sean Reddy, Keller Williams Reddy Group, and let's get into it. So first thing you probably notice, there are color codes here, and those color codes represent, if it's red, it's moving in favor of buyers. If it's green, it's moving in favor of sellers. And pretty much a 50-50 split in April, with 1 yellow meaning it's exactly the same. So I'm going to get into what's probably most important here. And I am going to challenge some of the narrative that you see in the national news outlet about the Tampa Bay real estate market, because some of that we can discount just based on data. The data matters more than opinion. But really the biggest story is going to be the inventory that's on the market. You see it, hear about it, read about it all the time. 15,459 homes on the market just in those 2 counties as of May 1st. That's good for a 7.2% increase month over month, and also the 4th straight monthly increase. So we'll get into a little bit about what's happening there. Look just below that, purchase contracts fell by 8.3% month over month. And we had a good run up of increasing purchase contracts really for the last 3 months before the bottom fell out. Really, funny thing about that is April was on pace for more contracts than March until about the 2nd, 3rd week of the month. And then it just petered out from there. Not going to get into anything political, but macroeconomics may have something to do with it. Consumer confidence may have something to do with it. It is what it is. All right. Closed sales. I found this super interesting. Closed sales dropped by 2.8% month over month. And that was after a month where purchase contracts rose by 13%. So what that tells me, 3,875 homes went under contract in March. 3,093 reached the closing table in April. Now, certainly there's going to be some of those March under contracts that haven't closed yet, but we're seeing a widening gap in the fallout rate of transactions. And we'll talk about that in a little bit and some landmines to watch out for there. Anyways, so those are the metrics that moved in favor of buyers. Why? Well, you have more homes on the market to choose from. You have more leverage because you have less competition. So use that to your advantage. Now, flip side of that, well, let me just cross this one off as the even one for the month. The average days on market stayed at 57. So moving on to and there's 4 of them. First of all, I'll just go straight to price. The average and median price both went up, first increase since February after a drop in March. So average price up 2.6%, median price up 0.5%. And oh, by the way, the median sold price to list price ratio, which this measures the relationship between closing price and final asking price, that also went up for the 3rd straight month. So some media outlets report that buyers are just getting these crazy deals and negotiating thousands and thousands of dollars off last asking prices. But here's the thing, if an asking price makes sense to the market as a whole, somebody's going to come up and pay it. It's going to happen. And the homes that are sitting out there, those 15,459, hate to say it, they're overpriced. That's all it is. Now, certainly there's going to be some instances where they're mismarketed or misrepresented. That can play a factor, but for the most part, those are too high for what the market is willing to bear. There, I said it. New listings. Talked about that dropping. Haven't seen a March to April drop in quite some time. We will get into that here in a little bit. So next, let's move on to what this looks like on a year-over-year basis. Okay, April of 2025 to April of 2024. There's a lot of red here. A lot of metrics have moved in favor of buyers. No secret there. And we'll start with the big one. Available homes, up by 37.4% year over year. That's a huge increase in home availability. And that's after a 35% increase last month, 31% in February, 34% in January, and that's year over year, 28%. So all these 25, 30% plus increases in inventory, almost 40% last month. I don't see any signs of that slowing down. New listings up 5.6% year over year. New purchase contracts and closed sales both down by more than 12% year over year. So you have this rising inventory, more listings hitting the market and less of them selling. That's a huge leverage if you're buying a home, and huge opportunity, for lack of a better term, if you're selling a home, to strategically partner with somebody who knows how to sell, an agent who can help you sell in a more competitive market, not somebody who got licensed in 2021. All right, average and median price. This is probably where the eyeballs are going. Down year over year, average price down 6.2%, median price down 2.8%. Median sold price to list price ratio down 0.3%. Now, the only green metric here, the only thing moving in favor of sellers, or has moved in favor of sellers, is the median days on market is down 6.3%, or another way to look at it is down 2 days. All right, longer term perspective. Let's look at some perspective since interest rates started taking an effect on the real estate market about the middle part of 2022. Let me grab a sip. This first graph, this represents average and median days on market. And it just takes the snapshot month by month and then connects the dots in between. Now, here is the effects of the storms last year. Kind of, discount that and just draw the line straight across. But not really much to look at here outside of, you can see when it started going up the back half of 2022, and it kind of stayed pretty much in the same range, which we're still in. Here, measuring three things on the same graph, and that's on purpose. Let me go to new listings first. That's the blue. So month by month by month, not a huge jump off in new listings, except for when you look at December of 24 compared to January of 25. That was a significant jump there, but still maintaining kind of that four to 5,000, a little over 5,000 per month, and we'll see if that changes. The yellow represents new purchase contracts. Now, a couple of patterns here. You get to December, that number goes down, and look at March to April last year. It was on its way up. March to April the year before, kind of even, maybe a little bit on its way down. Big swing towards the downside March to April this year. Definitely something to continue to watch. But while that's happening, check out the total inventory on the market. So we began that new interest rate era in the 7,600, 7,500, 8,000 range. Dropped a little bit once you got towards the spring market of 23, started rising, and maybe one little drop here, rising, a little bit of drop, post storm in through the holidays, and then 45-degree angle up. Again, I don't see that stopping anytime soon, unless, the yellow line needs to move up in order to eat away at some of that inventory. But all this to say, if you're a buyer, go. It's a playground for you right now. If you can stomach the interest rate and the payment, you can go have your pick of the litter of homes, unlike any time in the last probably decade. So go do it. Closed sales kind of all over the board, but the framing's a little strange here. You see January is always the low. You look at last fall, September, October, November, we know what happened then. Then you get that low again in January. But check this out, dropping from March to April this year. You look at last year, big increase from March to April. You look at the year before, there was a drop, but then it bounced right back up. Will that happen again? We'll see. And then finally, this is average and median closed price. And I mean, really nothing to look at here besides it's just been kind of flatlined. Really, I mean, there's one blip here. When was that? June of 2024, where there must have been some massive sale. Well, I remember now, there was some massive sale that brought the average up, but the median didn't go up accordingly. So then you get a big drop from 410 to 380 in January of 25. And now it's just kind of slowly recovering from there. Last thing, sold price to list price ratio. Current 98.12 or 98.12. When you go back, plenty of months that were over that, but then plenty of months recently that were under that. So we'll see if that trend, that upward trend on that continues. So there you have it. Big picture on what's happening in the Tampa Bay real estate market. Curious what your thoughts are, what your experiences are out there, and if we can be an asset to you from a information and consultation standpoint. Just let me know. Drop a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe and do all those YouTubey things, and we'll see you next month. Thanks for watching.